On June 6, 2017, the House of Representatives passed the Iraq and Syria Genocide Emergency Relief and Accountability Act of 2017. The act, which becomes law and is not to be confused with a resolution that does not have the weight of law, was proposed by Congressman Chris Smith, Republican from New Jersey. The act, as it was passed, requires measures to prosecute and bring to justice those who committed acts of genocide. The act also requires the U.S. Department of State and U.S. Agency for International Development to identify the particular needs of genocide victims and provide assistance. The act, unfortunately, is silent on how relief and development funds are to reach the victims of genocide. Assyrians have not been directly assisted by the U.S. government and multilateral governmental organizations, such as the United Nations, since the removal of the Ba'ath regime in Iraq and the start of the civil war in Syria. All major donor funding is channeled through those governmental or quasi-governmental authorities in power, who use the funding to persecute and oppress Assyrians even more. Assyrians are made dependent on the authorities who channel the funding. A very important development with House Resolution 390 is the sections of the original text that were removed in order for it to pass in the House of Representatives. The bill was first proposed on January 10, 2017. The original text included an entire section on special refugee status for victims of genocide. The specific language stated, aliens who are or were a national and a resident of Iraq or Syria, and who share common characteristics that identify them as targets of persecution on account of membership in a religious or ethnic minority in that country, in particular, being survivors of genocide, crimes against humanity, or war crimes, or being the surviving spouse or child of an individual who was killed by a perpetrator of such crime. 1. Are deemed to be special humanitarian concern to the United States, and 2. Shall be eligible for Priority 2 processing under the Refugee Resettlement Priority System. The entire section providing special refugee status for Christian Assyrians and other victims was removed in the version that was passed in the House. This shows that the U.S. Congress and U.S. government is unwilling to engage in policies of mass relocation of Assyrians from Iraq or Syria. Assyrians in these two countries are going to have to find sustainable solutions for their long-term survival in occupied Assyria, their lands in Syria and Iraq.